What's happening YouTube? I'm Alex and today I'm taking a look at a super cheap action camera. So this camera here that you're seeing costs only about $30 at the time of this video, so super cheap. Doesn't have the best specs, but let's see how well it does. The camera comes in this box right here, a rather good looking box. On the front here we can see all the colors that we can get the camera in. 1080p, that's the maximum resolution. Here we can see how we can use the camera and some specifications about it on the back. So 1080p videos are going to be at 15 frames per second and 720p only at 30 frames per second. And we do get a 2-inch LCD display, however it's not a touch screen, so you cannot really press it with your fingers. And we do have a 900 milliamp battery. It takes a long time to charge, I would say about 3.5 hours or so, so quite some time to charge. Inside the box we have the waterproof case for the camera and a whole bunch of this, so you can attach the camera to the bicycle, to your dashboard, to your helmet, whatever you decide. So for example, this would you stick this onto something and this goes in it, and so on. So a whole bunch of stuff to attach the camera to you or to whatever you may be doing. Keep in mind 15 frames per second is not that great, so if you're doing some crazy sports, 15 frames per second, yeah, it's not gonna be the greatest. But I'll show you some footage on the bicycle, some footage that I filmed in the car while driving with the camera sitting on the dashboard and so on. I even done a time lapse with it, so I'll show you that as well. So here we have the manual as well. It's gonna show you how to use the camera, all the accessories, everything that I just mentioned. Very straightforward, and again, this is gonna show you how you can use the camera, where you can put it, and so on. And some basic instructions, but the camera is very easy to use. The camera is made out of plastic and size-wise it's about the same size as a GoPro. On this side we have the charging port, and this is where the SD card goes. I do have a 8 gig SD card in there, and yeah, you can film a whole bunch of stuff on a 8 gig SD card. On top here we just have a LED that's gonna show you if the camera is recording or not. This is the record or the select button. On this side we have a up-down button, and that seems to be the microphone right there. I'm not sure if you can see it that well. And on the back of the camera here, you can just remove the battery. It's a 900 milliamp battery, so not the biggest battery, but it does last quite some time. I would say about 45-50 minutes. In the manual it says an hour and a half. However, it really depends how you use the camera. And on the front here we just see a 1080p HD and the power on off button, another LED. If you look at the sensor there, you're gonna notice that it's not the biggest sensor out there. So even though it does look like a GoPro, the GoPro has a way bigger sensor there, so it can catch more light and stuff like that. But let's keep in mind this is a $30 camera. The 2-inch LCD here, it doesn't have like a touch screen, so you can't really do anything with it. If you press the down button here, it's gonna take a picture. However, now it's set on a timer, but normally if it's not set on a timer, it's gonna take a picture. And I did set it on a time lapse because I did a time lapse yesterday, so that's why it takes a picture after a picture. If we press mode here, we get into the player, so you can see whatever pictures you took, whatever videos you took, if you wanna see them onto the camera. If I press that one more time, we're gonna get into the options here, and here you have a couple of things that you can select. So if you go to movie size, you can select whatever quality you have, and all the footage that you're gonna see later on was filmed at 1080p. 1080p footage is at 15 frames per second. if you want 30 frames per second, and that would be ideal if you're gonna do some biking and stuff like that. I do suggest using a 720p footage. So here on top we can switch to the next thing. So this is the picture menu, so you can select the resolution. The camera doesn't actually make a time lapse, so it just takes pictures every whatever seconds you choose. So for example, I chose 5 seconds, but you can choose whatever you want. So then after that you're gonna have to do the time lapse on the computer or something. Just take the pictures and make a time lapse. Yeah, I did the time lapse last night, and you're gonna see the footage of the time lapse shortly as well. So all done there, and here we can select some other options like when the screen to turn off and stuff like that. So very easy to use. So when you're done with that, press that, and now you're in video mode. So if you press this button here once, it starts recording. If you press this again, it's gonna stop, and whenever it's recording, that LED is gonna be red. So that's about it for the camera itself. Next, I'm gonna show you some footage in low light conditions, some footage on the bicycle, some footage from the car, some footage outside, and you can decide for yourself if this camera is worth it or not. Alright guys, thanks for watching, enjoy the following footage, and I'll see you in the next video. This here is a low light test, so I close the blinds, and yeah, you can barely see anything. Hai, aruncă mingea aici. Păi, aruncă încă o dată. Bravo!